Hello students. Today we are going to talk about a very popular poem by Rabindranath Tagore, Heaven of Freedom. This poem it was included in the volume called Nivedya in 1901. The original title of the poem is Prathna, meaning prayer. The poem is a prayer to God. The poem was written by Rabindranath Tagore during the time when India was under the British rule and the people were eagerly waiting to get their freedom from the British rule. This poem has given a lot of strength to people who were struggling for India's independence. It is a prayer to the Almighty for a hassle free nation free from any kind of manipulative or corrupted power. It appeared in the volume called Nebedya. Later in 1911, Tagore himself translated the Bengali poem into English, and that translation appeared as Poem 35 in his Nobel winning anthology Gitanjali, Songs of Offering, published by the Indian Society, London in 1912. In the very first line, the poet prays to the Almighty that his countrymen should be free from any fear of oppression or forced compulsion. He wishes that everyone in his country has his head held high in dignity. Freedom of expression leads to fearlessness, self dignity. In other words, according to him, in a truly free country, every person should be fearless and should have a sense of self dignity. In the succeeding lines, the poet dreams of a nation where knowledge would be free. Education should not be restricted to the upper class only, but everybody should be allowed to acquire knowledge. In the third lines, the poet emphasizes the unity of not only of his countrymen but also of the entire world. He thinks there should be no division among people based on their caste, creed, color, religion, or other baseless superstition. Our country should have unity in diversity. That should be our motto. People should be truthful, not superficial, and words should come from their heart. The poet wants everyone to work hard to reach their goal and in the long run to reach perfection. He thinks they should not be tired by working. People should not be lazy and ignoring their work. We should strive for success, highest achievement, so that it will ultimately lead to nation making. The poet here compares reason or logic to clear stream, and in the next line he compares dead habits or superstition belief to the dairy desert. He wants the stream of reason not to lose its way into the desert of superstition and biasness. In short, people's thought should be monitored by rational thinking, not by superstition. Logic should rule over old, baseless beliefs. The poet wishes his countrymen to be progressive and broad minded. He wants that their minds are led forward to ever winding thought and action by the Almighty. In the final line of the poem, the poet addresses the God as father and asked him to awaken his country into such a heaven of freedom where the above conditions meet. Only political freedom is not important unless you are fearless, self dignified, knowledgeable, truthful, hard working, and broad minded enough to enjoy it fully. To sum up, Heaven of Freedom is a very thoughtful poem which presents an idea that heaven is nowhere, heaven is there only on earth. The poem reminds the Gandhian philosophy of truth and the philosophy of thoughts and action of Jawaharlal Nehru. The whole world of man must be reintegrated, and the narrow walls of fragmentation should be demolished for achieving the holistic oneness.